Welcome to a story of two brave and innovative brothers, Wilbur and Wright. In 1903, this extraordinary pair changed the course of history with their invention of a powered, controlled aircraft that could fly for extended periods of time, or more known as the first successful plane. The Wright brothers were born in Dayton, Ohio, and Millville, Indiana, into a family of 7 children. From an early age, they were fascinated by mechanical gadgets and engineering designs. Their father gave them free rein to experiment with planes at his print shop, where he printed newspapers and books about aviation and science. The time as a kid was not lost on Wilbur and Wright. Soon the brothers went on to school life, where Wilbur was aiming to get into a college. But while Wilbur was playing a game of hockey for fun, Wilbur got hit in his mouth and lost his top front row of teeth. This led to Wilbur returning back home. Wilbur did not go to college. Wilbur did not leave the house at all for the next 4 years, until one day when Wilbur and Wright opened a bike shop in Ohio. It was not long until they soon began building gliders in 1899 based on models from German engineer Otto Lilienthal's book Bird Flight as a basis for aviation, which addressed how people might be able to take off without hot air balloons or kites. Sadly, German engineer Otto Lilienthal had been killed while testing one of his own designs, but his ideas inspired Wilbur and Wright, who continued working on different versions over 4 years, building up experience in flying test machines, before finally getting ready to attempt powered flight. To achieve power, they needed engines, so they built their own 6-cylinder engine using bicycle parts. The Wright brothers used bicycle chains as a part of the propeller drive machine, allowing it to move freely rather than being fixed like previous attempts at powered aircrafts. This was groundbreaking technology for its time, making their plane much more efficient than other designs out there. On December 17th, 1903, Wilbur and Wright took turns flying and piloting Flyer 1, which flew 4 times, covering a distance up to 852 feet. Across 59 seconds. The 4th flight lasted 59 seconds, reaching an altitude of 10 feet, or 3 meters, opening new possibilities when it came to aerial navigation. Afterwards, both brothers decided not to tell anyone until further experimentation, keeping tight-lipped about what happened, due to scientific skepticism towards heavier-than-air flight during this time of period. So after multiple flights spanning several days, all observed by newspaper staff taking pictures, printed days later, they eventually presented findings, thereby ushering in a new, modern era of aviation. Soon, the Wright brothers continued to work on their designs and invent more versions. They went on to patent the first practical airplane control system that used fixed wings, ailerons, and an efficient propeller. In 1906. This was revolutionary because it allowed for them to maneuver the plane up and down while in flight, something that had never been done before. Afterwards, they demonstrated the power of airplanes by traveling around America performing stunts such as flying circles above stadiums filled with cheering people. Their iconic Wright Flyer 1 was flown 40 times during these demonstrations, establishing their fame from coast to coast. They even set a world record for distance traveled when Wilbur flew 24 miles, 38 kilometers non-stop from Huffington Prairie, near Dayton, Ohio. Aside from being innovators and entrepreneurs, the Wright brothers were also businessmen who founded 2 companies to manufacture and sell their own planes, the Wright Company and the Gossamer Albatross Corporation. The latter most famous for producing aircraft used in military purposes. These ventures were so successful, both received substantial royalties, patents that were earned across all of Europe. Over the next decade, they continued to build ways to make aviation safer and more reliable, working on engines that reduce noise pollution, along with creating instrument panels, allowing greater altitude control and other advancements essential to today's modern aviation, and more. Ultimately, Wilbur died in 1912 due to typhoid. Orwell then took over the company, later selling it and becoming a very wealthy man until his death in 1948. Both brothers have since got immortalized monuments, books, movies, and shows, and many more, along with many countries honoring the remarkable accomplishments of aviation, because their industry would not be here without them. Aviation continues to grow thanks to their contributions of brilliant visionaries like Wilbur and Wright. whose daring feats have changed the course of history forevermore. Today, we owe our ability to explore our world through airplanes thanks to these courageous inventors. Not only did these innovations save lives, but the transportation industry would not be here and be booming today, providing us with a way we get around quicker and more easily. The plane has helped shape present-day society, bringing countries closer together, enabling trade and commerce between nations, and has also helped create jobs, boost local economics, and stimulate tourism, and even states. All because two dreamers believe something impossible possible, flying.
Forward along the trail blazed by the Wright boys. They were the Robert Fultons of aviation, and their names will live forever as the parade roars on.